The average snowblower owner neglects protecting these three areas, and snow, salt, and moisture will have their way with them if you don't do something about them now. Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB, giving you the best tips and tricks to survive life in and out of the garage. First, we're going to begin by pulling the spark plug to prevent any unwanted startups, just to be on the safe side. In my experience, these tips should be great for just about any make or model snowblower. The first spot to check is going to be right behind your skids. And when you think about it, your skids are constantly digging into the snow. They're busy scraping along concrete and many other surfaces. And in some cases, you're getting salty, slushy water stuck behind them from the street. Moisture can even run down these side panels, get trapped behind the skids, and cause rust. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pop these off, and don't be surprised if you see dirt, grime, or maybe even some rust forming behind your skids. Ugh. Ugh. Now, in order to help myself out here, I'm going to take a jack stand and prop this whole unit up and balance it right here on the gearbox. Some may say it a little differently, but this works just fine for me. This will give me better access and I won't have to bend down as much. What I'm gonna do is use a couple of products here. I'm gonna begin by using WD-40 to cut through the grease and the grime. I'm gonna wipe this whole area down and get this completely spot free. Ugh. Give it a quick wipe, get it all nice and clean. Same thing here, we're going to take some WD-40 and wipe these skids completely clean. You can see here that these skids are pretty dirty on the back side. This is a little oily, which is good, but we also got some grime back here too. Wipe them down. Yeah! Get the bottom side. Then we'll get this side. That all down. Make sure you get in every single little slot here. Good! That is one pretty dirty little skid. Same thing here on this one. Spray it down, wipe it clean. You want to get everything off of it. Same thing here on the bottom. And now the face side. Just like that. Another dirty paper towel. Jeez. Nice and clean now. Now we're just going to simply take some fluid film and we're going to spray these down to protect them. By the way, this fluid film was sent to us by our good friends over at Pro Parts Direct. Thank you very much. And then all you gotta do is just buff it lightly with a towel, spread it thin, and remember, thin wins, thick sticks. A thin layer is all you need. Same thing here on the face side. Just like that. A thin layer, that's all we need. That is coated. And number two, spray it down. Give it a quick buff, spread it thin, flip it over, spray it down, give it a quick buff. Good, another coated skid. Now over here, we're gonna take some fluid film, we're gonna spray this area down. This way it'll have some protection. And then just take a rag and lightly buff it. Same thing here on this side, spray it down and lightly buff. Having the fluid film on there definitely ramps up the protection. Another thing here to hit with the fluid film is these weld points. I've seen these break over the years if they're neglected, so make sure you give them a good coat. Now at this point, you could just simply bolt your skids back on and you're good to go. But because this is an Ariens snowblower, having these off now actually helps me out with the next step. And to help this video make it to the next step with the YouTube algorithm, would you mind taking a super quick second to hit that like button so that way this video can be shared out with ever more people? Thank you. The next area we're going to hit here is the scraper bar. This sees a ton of moisture as you're making every single pass with your snowblower, so it's a good idea to get this out and see what's hiding behind it. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you took off your scraper bar? If you answered never, you definitely need to do this. I haven't checked mine in a number of years. Now this, believe it or not, is a critical area to check. Because of the rounded shape of the snowblower auger housing, moisture runs right down and can hide behind this thing without a problem. So we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these bolts holding on this scraper bar. Let's get them out of here. All right, let's pull this guy and see what we got going on here. Lift up my snowblower a little bit here. And wow, surprisingly, pretty good. Take a look at that. Not bad at all. Even up here in the bucket, this is extremely oily. This is a lot of years of oil just seeping down and doing its job, protecting all this metal. That's extremely shiny. Same thing, take some WD-40, wipe it down, get all the grime off. Jeez, that's not bad for the underside. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's spray the edge and the inside. That is actually one really good looking 10-year-old scraper bar. Now let's get in here and wipe all this down. Wow, it is so hard to get in these little nooks and crannies. Basically, you just do the best you can. Same thing here on the inside of the auger bucket. Check that out, dirty, clean. That looks brand new. Let's continue on here. W40 doing its thing. Doing this will make your bucket last 10 more years, no problem. There's almost like this little bead of grease along this edge here. It's coming right off with the WD-40, but let me tell you, it is on there. There we go. Now, if you have any heavy rust spots here along that bottom edge of your bucket, you're definitely gonna wanna take the fluid film and load it up. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm really gonna cake on that fluid film. Why? Because I want to. All right, let's cake this baby up here. Lay it on thick. Oh yeah. Even more in this little spot. No rust to be seen, just loads of fluid film. I can just hear my snowblower saying thank you. Hit any weld points real good too, that's always a good idea. That is a ton of fluid film. Fluid film overload. Look at that. Now we're gonna take the scraper bar and we're just gonna hose this down with a lot of fluid film too. That is a ton of fluid film. Muy bien. So essentially what we're gonna do here is turn this into a jelly sandwich and just squash all that fluid film inside. Oh, you can hear it just sloshing. Oh my gosh, that's so much. Check this out, you can squeeze it and you can watch it pop out. Look at that, ah! I love it. Check out how much fluid film is dripping out the backside, wow. And at this point, we're gonna reinstall our bolts and put everything back exactly the way we found it. We're gonna tighten all our nuts back down. And from here, we're gonna wrench them down. Now that the scraper bar is in place, I'm going to simply take a rag and take all the excess and wipe it into the auger housing to protect all the metal. This baby's got so much fluid film on it, this is going to last for decades. Go. Perfect. Would you look at that? Super shiny, super protected. That's going to last for years and years. Now's a great time to reinstall the skids. So here's how I do it. What I like to do is I like to take a set of pencils, put them on each end, drop the blower down right on top, and most snowblower companies will tell you to set your scraper bar at about 1/8 to 1/4 inch off the surface of the ground, and you do that by adjusting your skids on the sides. By having the pencil there, that sets us at about 1/4 inch. Stick my bolts inside. So here we're just gonna slide on our skids, washers on, twist on the nuts. And now before you give them their final tightening, you might wanna slide them off the cardboard and press them flat, and then give them their final tightening. Get in the bolts, get your skid in place, and just tighten them down. Perfect. So now for our final step, what we're gonna do is we're gonna attack these weld points right here and spray some fluid film in those. And then we're gonna take this remaining fluid film that's dripping and we're gonna wipe it all along the bottom surface. That way this whole entire undercarriage is fully protected. Get at these welds here. All protected. Now we're just gonna take our rag and just start wiping everything down. Spread that fluid film everywhere. Hit the whole underside of the impeller housing, and then from here, wipe underneath the belly pan and every little crevice that you can. Wipe it from this side too, and then from here, come around on the back side, reach underneath, and finish up the wipe down. Good. For the last step, don't forget to connect your spark plug. Now, in my experience, these are great procedures to do either at the beginning of the season or at the end of the season. If you did this in the spring, there is no way that rust could harm your frame throughout the warm summer months. Now, some out there may say that there are other important areas on a snowblower to lube and protect, like the chute, the augers, the impeller housing, and I agree. But from what I found, many people neglect these three areas. And before long, you'll see rust forming, scraper bars rotting out, and a few weld cracks starting to appear. I'm a firm believer that if it's made of metal, you should coat it. If you gave everything on your machine a quick coat at the end of the season, you are going to add serious life to your snowblower. And in case you're wondering about the skids that I use Armor skids. These cost about twice as much, but they last 3 times longer, maybe 10 times longer. These take bumps far better, and if you have big cracks in your driveway, it's definitely gonna smoothen out your ride. You'll barely feel it when your machine rides over it. I bought these for my 2013 snowblower and for my 1971. These ones are about 7 years old now, and they're barely worn. You get what you pay for, and you can handle sidewalk cracks like a champ. Now, some have said that they ski on top of the snow, and I've only seen that happen one time when temperatures got like 20 to 30 below zero and ice started forming on the bottom of them. But I also saw the same thing happening on my neighbor's skids. So basically everybody was dealing with the same problem. I bought these directly on the Armor Skids website, and I'll have that link down below in the description. I'm not sponsored by them. I have no affiliation with them. I just think they're a really cool product. You should definitely check them out. I have, however, seen some other knockoff ones on Amazon. They're a little thinner, so they won't last as long, and they only fit certain models. For more cool garage gear content, click or tap the screen right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the garage.